The world is at war for the second time this century. Adolf Hitler has the advantage, but in an incredible act of ego, he's betrayed his ally Joseph Stalin, launching an invasion of the Soviet Union. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, a new threat emerges as Japan expands its empire, moving its military within striking distance of the Philippines. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt has sent his best general to defend the island territory. But he knows the American force has little hope against the powerful Japanese military.
Give me an update.
We have no reason to expect them to stop their movement south.
Is there any movement towards the Philippines?
Not that we can tell, but if they do attack, the best that MacArthur can do is slow them down.
There is one thing. Japan is totally dependent on foreign oil. We stop that, we stop their war machine.
Where do they get their oil?
From us.
Determined to avoid war at all costs, Roosevelt signs a trade embargo, cutting America's supply of oil to Japan and sending the Japanese economy into freefall.
Roosevelt essentially declared economic war against Japan. Roosevelt hoped he could sufficiently pressure the Japanese that they would back off.
In Tokyo, newly appointed Prime Minister Hideki Tojo knows the oil embargo threatens to put an end to Japan's imperial ambitions. If he's going to continue to expand the Japanese empire, Tojo has to act quickly.
Ambassador, prepare to go to the United States immediately. We need to negotiate the end of the oil embargo.
With the oil embargo in place, Japan develops a two-pronged strategy. On the one hand, it's trying to negotiate a diplomatic solution and sends a representative to Washington to try to find a way out. And the emperor is genuinely trying to find a peaceful solution. But the military is also planning for an attack.
The Japanese realize they need to find other sources of oil, and the best source is in the oil-rich islands of the South Pacific. But in order to get to that oil, first they'll have to go through the Philippines.
The problem is America has a military capability in the Philippines under General Douglas MacArthur. So if they're going to secure the oil that they need, the first thing they have to do is knock America out of the Pacific.
But the Japanese military isn't going to attack the Philippines directly. They have a bigger, more daring plan: to cripple America's naval fleet. On December 7th, 1941, the Japanese military launches a massive preemptive strike, sending hundreds of Japanese fighter planes armed with thousands of deadly explosives across the ocean. Their target, the entire U.S. Pacific Fleet, currently stationed at a base on the Hawaiian Islands, known as Pearl Harbor.